What's going on, everyone? In this video today, we're going to go over the latest news in powerlifting at the local, national, and international level so you can stay on top of all the news coming up in 2021. All right, so let's get right into this video. Alrighty, everyone, what's going on? Thank you for tuning into another video and checking out the channel. If you are new here, welcome to 2021 and welcome to my channel. My name is Venmo Khamesi. I'm a powerlifting coach, athlete, referee, and meet director. So I make various videos on this channel for those groups of people. So today, as you can see, we're going to go over the latest powerlifting news, and we're going to go like we've done in the previous videos, starting off with the international level with the World Championships and working our way down and seeing what's going on, what has been announced, what hasn't been announced, what can we possibly see changing going forward in the coming months. All right, so I already have my computer pulled up, so let's get right into it. And the first thing we'll do, like I said, was we'll go over the World Championships. So obviously the first thing you want to go to is powerlifting.sport. So we can go to the IPF website and you can see that the World Championships are currently set as far as the locations and the dates. So as you can see here in the bold, the first one will be the University Worlds in Lithuania in July. And then as you go down, you'll see the Sub-Junior and Junior Equipped Worlds is in Romania in August. Continue to go down, you'll see the Sub-Junior, Junior Open Classic Powerlifting Championships. I coach the Open team, so this is the one that I would be going to, is in Belarus in the end of September going into October. And then you have the Masters. Now the Masters Raw and the Masters Equipped are combined into one championship, so they pull them away from the Classic Powerlifting Championships. So this will be the first one. We'll be in South Africa in October. And then over here you have the Bench Press Championships in October in Kazakhstan, and then finally the Open Equipped Championships in Norway in November. So you can see that these locations are where they were supposed to be last year. So basically, because everything got canceled last year, they gave the locations again to those countries for this year, and then they've shifted everything into the second half of the year to hope that things are a lot better in the second half of the year than they will be in the first half of the year. Now, none of us can predict the future, so maybe some of these locations will change, maybe the dates will change, maybe things will continue to get worse and none of these will happen. But for now, these are locations and the dates that are scheduled for the IPF World Championships. All right, and if you don't come to the IPF website often and look at the calendar, you can also go down and look at the things that are scheduled for the upcoming years. So for 2022, you can see the current schedule, you can see the World Games in the summer, and also for 2023, you can see some of the bids, and in 2024, you can see some of the bids. So you can always come and look at the calendar and see in future years whether there's going to be a World Championship or even a regional or continental championship, depending on what you want to call it, in your country or in your region, maybe something that you want to plan ahead for. All right, so next we're going to go into what I was just saying, the regional championships or the continental championships, depending on what you want to call it. And for us, it's going to be the North American championships. So we have two. We have the North American Powerlifting Championship, that's usually one date, and our North American Bench Press Championship, that is one date. So if we come down here, you can see under August, we have the North American Powerlifting Championship here. It's going to be right here in Miami, where I live, and it's currently scheduled for August 23rd to 28th, but this date is not finalized. As I'll discuss later on in this video, is that there's some other moving parts going on that may change this date. One of the things that may change it that is already scheduled is the Sub-Junior and Junior Powerlifting Championship are the same dates. So there's going to be an overlap there. So it's possible that this is going to be moved 1 week earlier. So it's going to be August 16th through 22nd. So this hasn't been finalized yet, but either way, it's going to be August. It's either going to be that second week or third week of August, most likely that 16th through 22nd of August. And this is going to be the Powerlifting Championship. So you can't do bench only there. This is just the 3 lift for raw and equipped, all age divisions. It also is the Pan American Championship, as you see here. So that means that South America can come as well. And this will also be a World Games qualifier. So the primary World Games qualifier, for the people that don't know, is the Open Equipped Championship. You get top 3 there, you get to go to World Games, but also from each region, they pick wildcard spots, and those wildcards come from the regional championship. So from this North American Powerlifting Championship, they're going to pick wildcards, and so it's possible that we get a big turnout for this championship, because there's going to be a lot of equipped lifters doing it just in case they can't go to open worlds or something happens where they bomb out of open worlds. They have this backup as their wild card. In addition, for people that don't want to travel internationally this year for any of the world championships, then we might get more equipped and raw lifters at this meet from USA and maybe even some other countries like Canada, Puerto Rico, Mexico, and Central America. So from US, we might get 60 to 100 lifters at this championship, and we might get a lot of high level lifters. So this might be one of the top international meets for this year, just because international travel, we'll see what happens. If it happens, it might be limited, or maybe it doesn't happen. And then for our North American bench press, if you come down here, you can see in mid-October, it is planned for Costa Rica. So again, we'll see what happens, with confirming the date, confirming the location, everything like that, fitting it in the schedule around these other competitions. But that is the plan for now, mid-October in Costa Rica. All right, so let's go one step lower now. We'll go down to the USAPL calendar, and we'll go down to the national level competition. So you go to USAPL.com, and you can click on calendar, and that'll send us to the tab specifically for the calendar. You can sort by level, so you can sort and do national, and you can see what's currently scheduled for the national championships. And March 20th, you have the military, police, and firefighter national championships will be in Orlando here in Florida. So that date is scheduled, the registration is already open, and lifters can enter into that one. Then you have the Collegiate National Championships will be in Louisiana, April 7th through 11th. Again, this one is already scheduled for that date. The registration is already open, so people can sign up for that. And then there's the High School Nationals, which was originally scheduled for March, but it's already been postponed to the end of May. So if you were planning on going to High School Nationals as a lifter, a coach, referee, or whatever, please note that it's been moved to the end of May, and that is going to be in Colorado. So these are the nationals that are currently scheduled. They could be postponed just like the high school got postponed, but for now, these are the dates and these are the locations, and the entry forms I know are up for military and collegiate. Not sure about the high school. For the other nationals, they have not been scheduled yet. They're trying to figure out what's going on with the Arnold. They're trying to figure out what's going on with the World Championships. They're trying to figure out what's going on with the pandemic, see where they can do it, what size it has to be, that kinds of stuff. So we don't have any information on that other than the information is coming soon. They've put in the newsletter, and I've heard other people saying that maybe this week or next week we may get some additional information about it. Maybe we'll know the location and possible dates of how bench is going to be combined with what, raw is going to be combined with what, youth, that kind of stuff. So at least we'll know possibly which nationals are going to be together, what month they will be in, and maybe the location. But all that stuff is up in the air as far as how many lifters it may be, or the qualification totals you need, and that kinds of stuff. So you're gonna have to just wait for the national championships. For then we'll go on to the regionals, which again, similar to the nationals, nothing has been planned yet because they're trying to figure things out. And since there's so many events that are going to be in the second half of the year, because they're trying to push everything back so that this situation gets better with the pandemic. So nothing is planned for regionals. And it's possible that maybe we don't have a regionals this year, because you're already going to have all the world championships in the second half of the year. You're going to have nationals in the summer in June, July, August. Possibly you're going to have it in the regular time of October, or maybe even later in November. And then you're going to have possibly the Arnold again in that June, July, August, or maybe later on too. So many things going on also in North America, like I said, in August, and the bench press in October, that maybe they just skip on the regionals this year and say, let's focus on these higher level meets and we'll bring back regionals next year. So we'll see what happens. Maybe we'll have our regionals in there and they'll fit it in somehow. Whoever shows up, but nothing scheduled for now. So when we go down then to local meets, you'll see that there's plenty of local meets here scheduled for all kinds of states and stuff like that, starting with this weekend. Mine is actually this weekend, Saturday and Sunday. So we'll have a small event going on this weekend, 26 or 7 lifters on Saturday and like 30 something lifters on Sunday. But what they also did for the local meets is they extended the ability to break American records. So if we go over to the COVID updates, normally you can only set the American record at the state championship, the regional championship, and then the national championships, international championships, that kind of stuff. But for last year, because there were no regional championships and there were no national championships and there were no international championships, they said you can break the American record at any meet as long as you have the referees and the scale and the weights and all that kind of stuff in place. But that was only supposed to be until last year, because the plan was that we'd bring everything back this year. But since everything is still up in the air for this year, they went ahead and you can see they extended it through May 31st. So for now, we'll see if it gets extended or not, but until May 31st this year, you can go and break an American record at a local meet. You just have to check with your meet director and see if they have the national or higher referees in place and all the other stuff like that, making sure you fill out your paperwork, all that kinds of stuff, so you can actually get the American record at that event. So it's a nice little added thing that if you are someone who's capable of breaking an American record and maybe there are no nationals, or maybe you don't want to go and travel to a national, international meet, then you can just do a local meet in your state and be able to break that American record. All right, and then also just worth mentioning is that we still have all the COVID guidelines in place here. So you still have to wear the mask at all times, regardless of who you are coming into the building. And everyone now has to fill out this health questionnaire when they first come in, regardless of who you are in the building. Everyone has to do it. And so a lot of people are wondering when this stuff will go away, and they haven't said anything. I haven't heard them say possibly a certain date or anything like that. It all just depends on the progress of everything going on with the vaccine and stuff. And so it seems like it's going to be a while. I would say at least into spring and probably into summer that everyone's going to have to still follow those rules. And then by summer, we'll see how the pandemic is, how the vaccinations are going, everything like that. And maybe they'll slowly start loosening up some of these restrictions. But I think definitely into spring and into summer, we're going to have this. So if you are someone who wants to do a meet, you should be expecting that you're going to be doing this stuff, and you should be training with your mask on so you know how it feels and if it moves while you're setting up for bench press or anything like that. And if you don't want to wear a mask and you don't want to do the health questionnaire, then you probably shouldn't be planning for a spring meet, probably not a summer meet, and possibly plan for something, in fall or winter, and hope that things are a lot better then and that you don't have to do this stuff. But that covers everything. So that is the latest for the World Championships, the Continental Championships, the Nationals, the Regionals, the local meets. And you can hopefully see the different places on the websites that I went to find this information. So you can go to the same places on these websites and stay on top of the latest information. And of course, you can follow USA Powerlifting on Instagram. You can follow the IPF on Instagram to see posts there as well. So hopefully this video helped you out. So if you have any questions about any of the events that I went over, you can always ask those in the comments below. If you have any additional information that I did not mention here, you can always add those in below, and I can always throw it into the description for anyone who's watching these videos. Other than that, I hope you guys are having a good week, a good start to the new year. Hope you have a little bit of a schedule plan for what events you want to do this year, and I'll see you guys in that next video.